Hi to everyone, Namaskaram. In today's video, this is a management series video of 4, which I am going to talk about identifying, creating, and nurturing a talent pool. So, this is the topic which I am going to talk for maybe 5 to 10 minutes time, just to give a brief on how can we use the talent pool for our advantage in any of these industries or anywhere. It does not matter, it need to be in the industry, it can be a school, it can be a government office, it can be anywhere, where we need to identify the talent, because we always feel, as a human resource, we always feel that we need to fit the correct proper people at the proper place. So this is one of the major things which we need to take care of in any of the industries. So normally we come across 4 kinds of people whose talents can be identified. Based on their talents, they can be identified as 4 groups of the employees, or the 4 groups of executives or supervisors or whomsoever, whom we are considering them as the talent neurons, because they are the talent neurons. Ultimately, we have recruited them, we have made them to join the organization. This is not by choice that we have got these people, or this is not by choice that they have joined the organization. So we have joined after passing through various hurdles and obstacles. They have joined the organization, and now we have to identify them. Normally we come across, of course, this talent is also related to a piece of work which we need to adopt, or which we need to give it to those people, or which we need to distribute to the people. The talent need not be the one talent for one type of work, need not be the same for the other work, or it can be same depending on what they are and how they are. But normally what we identify ourselves is that we identify 4 kinds of people. One kind of people, or one category of people, are self-starters. They don't need anybody to tell them that this is your work, you do like this, you do like that. If you do like this, you will get this. These all instructions or whatever the follow-ups or supervision is not very much needed. Of course, they need a plan. Of course, they need a time-bound execution of the plan. Of course, they need to ensure that they don't sacrifice quality or the quantity which they need to produce. So these are the things which this group of people are well aware of, and they are well aware of all practices, all good practices, all the things, and the talent what is required for that kind of work is available with them. There is a second kind of people. Their talent is good, they are excellent starters, but they need some padding. So this is the second category of people, where you need to ensure that they are always watched and seen that they are on the right path, that they don't deviate or they don't take extra liberties in sacrificing some of the things which they need to do. So this is the second category of people whom you need a little supervision, or you need a little patting up for those kind of people. For self-starters of the category 1 or category A kind of people, you don't need any patting. You don't need any motivation. They are self-starters. They themselves get motivated and try to do. Second group of people need some sort of a motivation to bring them to a level wherein the talent is nurtured properly. The third kind of people is the people whom we need to see that they have to be guided at every stage, whereas category B need to be only looked at and see that they are not stopping or deviating from what path they are following or what work they are doing. But the third kind of people needs the full supervision. Third kind of people needs everything to be told to them, you do only like this, and they are rule based people. You have to tell, they only follow the rules and instructions what is given by the superior or the people who are controlling them. So this is the third kind of people. There is another kind of people whom with any effort you give, they are not able to perform, or they are not able to show the talent what is required for that kind of work. So this is the fourth category of people. So these are the 4 categories. First we need to identify them. So when we look at creating of a talent group or making everything advantageous to ourselves, we need to identify these four category of people whom we need to first identify to ensure that these talents are available. So everybody is important. It's not that the category 4 fellow is useless, or it is not that the category 1 fellow is the first rank. It's not so. Both are not so. So both are required in the organization. Both are required to ensure that all the four category of people will be available in any organization, in any work, in any place, in any public place, or in any of the areas, if you look at it. So where we need, and even in house also, when we have multiple children with us, so we always find that there is something, some talent which is there in one kid may not be there in the other kid. So it is similar to that, even in the employee or the workplace, wherein we need to identify and nurture. This is the very important aspect which we need to do. First, we identify the talent. Then, what we need to do is this talent has to be now make into a pool of people where everybody is utilized properly and everybody is equally loaded and everybody is equally guided and everybody has been brought to a same platform so that the work of the group do not suffer at any stage. And the motivation of the group do not come down because one fellow is getting more focus or another fellow is not getting more focus. But it is required that as a supervisor or as a manager or as a head, we need to focus on these four kind of talents in a different ways. So after creating this talent pool, looking at the four categories, identifying them and then creating the talent pool, it is for us now to nurture them to bring it to a stage. As I said, for group Cat 1 or the self-starter, you don't need to train them or you don't need to give them any extra effort or you don't need to motivate them or to give them anything. But whereas if you left them free floating, they may get disjoint from the group. So because the basic problem what happens in such cases is that when we look at the people and when we look at how they react, because they themselves will feel that they are overconfident sometimes, not always. I do not say that every talented man or every category A man is totally talented so that they are overconfident. It's not so. Sometimes it so happens that they become overconfident and they get disjoint from the group. These are the two qualities which we need to keep on looking at them. This is where you need to nurture them. This is where you need to bring them back into the group's ideologies, group objectives, group way of looking at it. This is the where you have to look and ensure that they get the proper things to move ahead in the work and make the team to take along with them. This is very important. So it does not mean that if he is a first rank holder, you identify them, you just isolate them and keep on giving them more work so that others will not get work. It's not so. The workloading should be equal. Workloading should be based on the talent what they can do. But they should be engaged in the work. They should be engaged in the group effort. They should be engaged in the group objectives. So the first fellow, importantly, we have to look at two aspects. One is to ensure that he does not move out of the group objectives. Second is he does not get into a place where he misses out what is required for the group. So second category of people, they need motivation. You have to keep on identifying them, trying to tell them that okay, if you do this, this is the advantage you get personally as a group and also as a shiner. So you have to keep on showing them that there is a path which is more shineful for them. And here the training for them what needed. Actually for category A people you need to train them to only give an objective of going together in a team. Whereas for the type 2 or category 2 type of people, you need to nurture them in such a way that they don't fall apart from the objective of the work. Because they are always with the team. They are always looking back to see what is required to be done. They are always looking for a leader to guide them out. So this kind of cat B people will always be looked at properly to ensure that they become the best asset for the organization and they come up to the level of Cat 1. So it is very important to make them Cat 1. It is very important to motivate them. It is very important to guide them. It is very important to tell them tricks and tools in which they can do it very easily and enjoy the work what they are doing. The third category of people who needs supervision, the third category of people who needs guidance, rules, the third category of people have to be told the targets. The third category of the people have to be told the codes of quality, what is required for the work. So this kind of people needs a total supervision. They are some sort of disabled because of their way of looking at the work. It's not that they are bad. The way in which they look at the work to be performed, this Cat 3 people are always looking for some sort of a rule always available. Say if I do A, if I go B, if I do B, if I have to do C, if I do C, I have to do D. So like this, they need some sort of a rule-based, followed proper planning, and always looks at what is required to be done at each and every stage. They need specialized training to ensure that they don't miss out any of the rules or regulations. They don't miss out any of the paths what is required for the objective of the group to be met. This is very important, and these guys can be easily lifted to Cat B, provided. And second, one more important thing, I will come to what kind of allotments we can do based on their talent, maybe possibly in the next few minutes. So this Cat 3 people needs a specialized training in which they do not become parasites on some host. This is very important. If you make them parasites on some host, then they are always falling back on you, only looking back rather than looking forward. So this has to be taken care for Cat 3 type of people, where you need to guide them, where we need to train them, where we need to give them enough tools and rules and tackles to ensure that they perform properly what is required for the group's objective. There is another kind of people whom I said Cat 4 people. This Cat 4 people is very extraordinary effort is required to lift them up. It can be anything. It can be their way of looking at the things. It can be their, maybe I don't know, maybe physically they are not able to perform. Or maybe they are not so much knowledgeable on the work what they are trying to do. Or they are a misfit in some way, which we need to identify. So we need to identify this Cat 4 people, what are the weaknesses and threats they have in working in that environment and for that job. And we need to focus on them in such a way that that job, whatever is needed, has to be given a proper training at every stage of their work. And you have to be along with them, showing them a guideway path to ensure that you are a part of them and ensure that they don't become a non-performing asset in the group. See, any non-performing asset, maybe I am using a bad word for a human resource, it's not correct to use it as an asset. Though psychologically, though we always talk about man, machine and material as 3 M's of production or the organization, but it is becoming a non-performing asset. There are 2-3 things. If they are non-performing, if they are in a group, they may retard the group objective, or they may break in between, or they may ensure that they are not getting what is required to be done. So here is where we need to ensure that if it is possible to lift them up at every stage, to give them the enough vitamins and enough strength for them to lift up, we should ensure that. Otherwise, you have to take them out of the group and give them some other work where their talent can be, where their hidden talent can be exposed and used properly. Create the talent for them. If they are not able to perform, give them a chance. If they are not able to perform, take them out of the group and put them to the places where their talent can be utilized. So these are the four category of people where you can nurture, where you can create a talent group, and where you can nurture them, and where you can have the advantage to bring the talent into their areas. So it is very important. Of course, again, I take that same disclaimer. It is my experience. It is my way of looking at the human resources. So please do not feel that I am trying to intervene into some other industry or some other place or some other. I'm not intending to show anybody is good or bad. I am only trying to, as I said, it is not by choice that we are all together. We are together as a part of team. So we need to perform together. So in creating such a talent group, it is always important for us to identify, then to ensure that each stage what is required for them to do, and the third and the fourth stage, which is very important, to nurture them, to ensure them that they are in the form of a group which ensures the best result for the company or organization or wherever they are. So when I said in the beginning that I will tell how the work can be allotted. See, for talent of Cat A people, you can always give them something which is challenging in terms of new or very new adaptive type of things. So they are ready to take that risk, and they are ready to make the things to work for us. They are ready to toil for making whatever the new things what is required for them. So you have to give them such a platform or such an opportunity for that kind of Cat A people, identify them, give them such kind of work so that they perform more than what is required for such kind of jobs, and encourage them to make new methods, new areas, new work. Similarly, for Cat 2 and 3, it is almost similar type of work you need to give. It is almost, see, normally Cat 3 type of people are good in routine jobs, where repetitive nature is there, rules are well settled, quality and quantity is fixed, or maybe with little effort they will exceed some of those things, or better results they will bring it out. So for Cat 3, it is very easy. It is better to give them a routine type of work and encourage them to bring the more process changes rather than bringing a product or a quality or a product production change. So the process change will ultimately give the best quality and best production. So these are the things which we need to take care of. These are the things which we need to take care of, which we need to make things to work for us. So take care very well. We have to ensure that such kind of things are ensured in allotting also. And for Cat 2 type of people, if you can lift them to Cat 1, it's good that you give them a new job, or you make them in such a way that they are the link between Cat 1 and Cat 3. See, Cat 3 routine job, Cat 1 is a good advanced job, whereas Cat 2 a fellow who can implement both the things properly, ensure that they can make either a good job or continue to do a routine job. So these are the allotments which you can do depending on the talent group or talent search what we have got. Please take care. This is my views. As my disclaimer reminds, no industry or no individual or no anybody has been targeted or told or felt. Everybody in the organization is important. Every talent is important. How we utilize these talents at right place at right time is very important. Fit of proper person for a correct job. Fit of a proper person for a correct job is the responsibility of every individual who is controlling these talent groups. So please ensure this. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best. Take care. These were my views. Possibly I will come with more videos in the future. Thank you.